Hello YouTube, Winner0 here of WinnerX Raven with another deck profile. This time I'll be doing my Lightsworn Chaos Dragon deck. This is the second deck I've ever built. I don't really play it too much competitively, even though it can compete somewhat in the meta, but I play it more just for fun. Like I said, this is the second deck that helped me get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! The whole milling mechanic I thought was pretty interesting. It is risky, and that's why I don't really like playing as much as my Yang Zing deck. But it's another fun deck to play, so let's get right into this deck profile. We start off with 3 Judgment Dragon. He's your main boss monster of the deck. Level 8, 3000 attack, 2600 defense. His main effect that he has is if you pay 1000 life points, you can nuke the field. That effect can stack, so if they special summon after you nuke the field, during that same turn you can pay 1000 again and just nuke it again. So just so you can attack directly, it's a really awesome effect. I like to run him at 3, mainly because if you mill him, I want to make sure I can actually summon one, so that's why I always make sure I can have one in hand. So running at 3 is essential for me. His other effect is at the end phase you mill 4 cards, which pretty much all the Lightsworn cards, that's what they do, they mill so you can get your cards in the graveyard, because you need 4 different names to bring this card up. But it's not very hard to do. So yeah, so the next card I have is 3 Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn. I consider him the main tuner of the deck. He's a level 4. Get you a lot of good plays because he mills during your main phase and during your end phase. So you get more cards in the graveyard, get more names, so you can bring out Judgment Dragon. And if you mill any Lightsworn monsters, he gains 200 attacks, so he becomes a 1900 beater. Very awesome card to have at 3 because you do want to see him as soon as possible. He is searchable with a certain spell card that I'll get to. Next, I run 3 Lumina, Lightsworn Summoner. Level 3. 1000 attack. Her attack isn't very important. It's her effect that makes her really good, which is why I run her at 3. All you have to do is you just discard 1 card from your hand, so you can discard a card that you don't really need, and then you can target 1 level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster in your graveyard to special summon it. And during your end phase you do mill 3 as well, but that effect is really good because you could get into your Synchro monsters like Michael, the Arch-Lightsworn, or you could even special summon another Lumina, so you can overlay into Dante, so you get some more mills going. But yeah, she has a lot of utility. I love seeing her at as soon as possible, so running her at 3 I thought was very important. The next Lightsworn I run is 2 Lyla, Lightsworn Sorceress. She's sort of like an MST, because all you do is switch your battle position, and she can't switch to the end of your next turn, but she used to destroy 1 spell or trap. She's also level 4 to get you some rank 4 plays. 1700 attack. She also mills 3 cards during the end phase. So very important card. I would run it at 3, but I just feel like it's really good at 2 for right now. Next I run 1 Minerva, Lightsworn Maiden, level 3. She's a tuner with 800 attack. The attack's not very important. And her first effect I don't really use, where you can add 1 dragon type monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of Lightsworn monsters with different names in your graveyard. I hardly ever use that effect. I use it for her tuner effect, or if she gets milled, you also get to mill an extra card. That's why I run her. She's also another name for Judgment Dragon. Next I run 1 Felis, Lightsworn Archer, level 4, 2000 defense, 1100 attack. Her defense is pretty good. When I special summon her, I usually put her in defense. Her other effect is that you can tribute her to destroy a card on the field. I think it's a monster. Yeah, you destroy 1 monster by tributing her. But the only way to bring her out is if she gets milled by monster effect, so she can't be milled by one of your spells. It has to be one of the monster effects to mill her, and then you can special summon her. I usually do it in defense mode, and then you could also go into rank 4 plays, synchro plays, or just destroy a monster with her. So I think she's a very important card. For the last 3 I run 1 Jain, Lightsworn Paladin, level 4, 1800 attack. When you attack an opponent's monster, you gain 300, so it becomes a 2100 beater. And because it's level 4, just gets you more rank 4 plays. That's another name for the graveyard. And around 1 Ehren, Lightsworn Monk. She's like a pseudo Castell, because if there's a defense position monster before damage calculation, you can shuffle that card back in the deck. 1600 attack. It's not too bad, but it's just another name. The effect's not too bad though. And around 1 Wulf, Lightsworn Beast. Very good card. The only thing I hate drawing into him. You can also discard him with Lumina. 2100 attack, but the only way for him to be special summoned, kind of like Felis, is he has to be milled, but this one could be milled by a spell effect and still be special summon. So yeah, that's the whole Lightsworn lineup. That's to get Judgment Dragon out. Now let's get into the Chaos Dragon aspect of the deck. I run 3 Lightpulsar Dragon. He's the main Chaos Dragon for the deck, in my opinion. Level 6, 2500 attack. Very easy to get out. You just have to banish 1 light and 1 dark from your graveyard. That's why you special summon from your hand. If you could also special summon from the graveyard by sending 1 light and dark from your hand to the graveyard. And if he gets destroyed or just sent to the graveyard at all, you get to special summon a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon type monster from your graveyard. So it's really good because he has so many utility plays, and I like to pair him up with Judgment Dragon just to get OTKs quicker. I like to run him at 3 for that reason. Next I run 1 Darkflare Dragon and 1 Eclipse Wyvern. These cards help with the Chaos Dragon aspect of the deck. Darkflare Dragon is a 2400 attacker, level 5. You can send a dragon from your hand and 1 dragon from your deck to the graveyard. You can also banish 1 card from either graveyard. So you can banish something that your opponent needs. I hardly ever use that effect. I mainly bring him out as an attacker, but it's nice to have that effect as well. And Eclipse Wyvern's there because it helps you get Judgment Dragon in your hand. Because when you send to the graveyard, you can banish 1 level 7 or higher light or dark dragon from your deck. So you can banish Judgment Dragon, and if you banish Eclipse Wyvern, you can bring that target to your hand, so you can get Judgment Dragon real easy. So that's mainly why I run him at all. Then I run 2 Shaddoll Dragon. It's a very good card in this deck, level 4, 1900 attack. I like to set it. A lot of people think I'm running Raikou when I set it, so sometimes they won't attack. But if I do get my flip effect off, I get to compulse 1 card on their field to the hand. If it gets milled, it also works as an MST. That's why I run 2 Lyla and I run 2 of these just to have back row destruction. Because if it gets milled, like I said, you can destroy any back row card that's giving you trouble. So yeah, that's why I like to run it. It's a really good card. I would run it at 3, but I think 2 is a good number for it. Just to add more dark names to the graveyard. I run 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. He's very important in any dragon deck at all, because he lets you he just lets you special summon from your hand or from your graveyard. The only way to bring him out, or one of the ways you can get him out, is by banishing a dragon on the field. You can also get him out with Lightpulsar. If he's in the graveyard, you can crash into something and then special summon Red Eyes. Or if they destroy Lightpulsar, you can special summon Red Eyes. Use Red Eyes effect to special summon Lightpulsar. So I think it's a very good card. I wish it was at more than 1, but 1's really good for right now. 2800 attack. And for the last dragon, I run 1 Dark Arm Dragon. He's a very good card, 2800 attack as well. The only way to bring him out though is to have at least 3 dark monsters in your graveyard. But because we can manipulate the graveyard a lot with his banishing to bring out these Chaos Dragons, it's not that hard to get him out. And then if you banish one of those dark monsters, you can destroy a card in the field. So it's a very good card to have at 1. I think you can only run 1. And then for the other Chaos aspect of the deck, I run 1 Blackluster Soldier-Envoy at the beginning. 3000 attack. You bring him out just like the other Chaos Dragons. You bring him out by banishing 1 light monster, 1 dark monster from your graveyard. And then he has 2 effects. You can use one once per turn. So you can target 1 monster in the field and banish it. Or if you choose to attack and you destroy a monster, you can attack again. It's a very strong card. It can win you games in its own, on its own. The only thing is it gets milled a lot, but if it gets milled, it's another light monster in your graveyard. And the last 2 Chaos monsters are Chaos Sorcerer. He's a 2300 attacker. You special summon him the same way, banish a light in the dark. His effect is that you can target a monster, and you can banish it. But then he can't attack for that turn. But it's just to remove cards that are giving you trouble. That's why I run him. Then I run 1 Armageddon Knight, level 4, 1400 attack. I mainly run him because he's another dark monster if you mill him. But if you summon him, you can also mill a card you need. So let's say you have a floodgate that you're trying to get over. You can normal summon Armageddon Knight, and then you can send Shaddoll Dragon to destroy it. Or you can send Necro Gardna, which is the next card I have for defense. Or you can just send any dark monster. You can send Red Eyes so that you can do plays with Lightpulsar. So he's pretty good. I might take him out for something else, but for now he's been working very well. And for the last 3 monsters, I run 3 Necro Gardna. He's mainly for defense. He's a level 3, 600 attack, which isn't really that relevant. Because if I draw him, I just set him. But if he's in the graveyard, you can just banish him to stop an attack. That's why I like to run 3, just to protect yourself until you get Judgment Dragon or until you get an established field. He's a really good card to have in the graveyard. So that's the monster lineup. Let's get into the spells. Now for spells and traps, it's a pretty small lineup because you run a lot of monsters in the deck. So the only spells I have are 3 Solar Recharge. You can discard a Lightsworn monster and draw 2 cards and send the top 2 to your graveyard. So if you send Wulf, you can special summon him. But just get your plays going. I really love to run it at 3. Just speeds up your deck. And I run 2 Charge of the Light Brigade. You send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. You add 1 level 4 lower Lightsworn from your deck to your hand. So you can either grab a Lumina or I usually grab Raiden. So you can get the early mills going. So I wish it was at 3, but at 2 it's pretty good so far. And then for the 3 traps that I run 3 Royal Decree. This is just to stop other traps, because you don't really have to rely on traps in this deck, but this is a way so you can negate the traps that they're trying to play. But yeah, that's the whole spell and trap lineup. Let's get into the extra deck now. We start off with Michael, the Arch-Lightsworn. He's a level 7. He's the main Synchro for the deck, 2600 attack. You can pay 1000 life points to banish a card on the field, so you can banish something that's just giving you a lot of trouble. Or you can, if it gets destroyed, you can shuffle as many Lightsworns that you have in your graveyard to gain 300 life points for each. And at the end phase, you mill 3, so he's a pretty good Synchro to have. Next, I run for level 6s. I run 1 Blackwing Nothung, the Starlight. He's a 2400 attacker. He's kind of like Gaga Cowboy. If he gets special summon, Synchro summon, you can burn your opponent for 800. You can also target a monster they have and lower its attack by 800 attack. And I run 1 Goyo Guardian. He's a level 6, 2800 attack. If he destroys a monster, you get special summon on your side of the field in defense mode. Pretty good card to have. And I run 1 Ancient Sacred Wyvern. He's a level 7, 2100 attack. And the way it gains attack, depending on the difference of your life points. If you have more life points, it gains the difference. If you get less life points than your opponent, then you do lose attack points. So it's really risky, but I've won games with it. It's a pretty good card. And I run 1 Stardust Spark Dragon, level 8, 2500 attack. You can target a card on the field, and it can't be destroyed for that turn. So you can even target this card, so it won't be destroyed if they try to Dark Hole. Or if you're trying to protect spell or trap, which you don't really have to do too much in this deck. But it's still a good card to have. You can bring out this card along with Judgment Dragon, nuke the field, and then target your card before you do that, so that way Spark Dragon stay on the field. I run 1 Scrap Dragon, which is level 8, 2800 attack. You destroy 1 card on your side of the field to destroy one of theirs. Pretty good card. And for the last Synchro, I run Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree, 3100 attack. I mainly make it so you can have a wall for them to get over because they can't target it, except for your main phase 2. It's level 10. Now for the Exceeds, I run 1 Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss. I was lucky enough to pull one of these in the Megatins that came out this year. It's a very good card because it gets to mill. So you just detach a card, you can mill up to 3, and it gains 500 for each. And then when it attacks, it goes in defense mode. So it's a really good card to have. It's also another light monster. And I have 1 number 17 Leviathan Dragon. You can attach a material from him so you could gain. So he gains 500 attack, and you can do it again, but after the second time you do it, if he has no material, then he can't attack your opponent directly, which is a nice beater to have on the field. And I run 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. It's a rank 4, 2500 attack. You can attach both his materials to target a monster on your opponent's side of the field, and you can have its attack so you can gain that attack. So it's really good against really strong monsters that your opponent has. You just have their attack, you take that attack, and then you can destroy it. And I run 1 number 103 Ragnar Zero, another rank 4. If your opponent has a monster that has a different attack than its original attack, you can destroy it. It's also a 2400 attacker. If you destroy it, you get to draw a card as well. So it's a very good card. And I run 1 Abyss Dweller. I know I've said in previous videos that I don't like this card. I don't really like it going against Yang Zings, but to use it It's very good to stop monster effects in the graveyard, so against Burning Abyss or Shaddolls. And yes, even Yang Zings. But yeah, it's a 1700 attacker. If you detach one of its materials, you can prevent monsters from gaining effects in the graveyard. And I run one Castell, the Skyblaster Musketeer, another rank 4, 2000. You detach 2 materials, so you can shuffle a card back, a face-up card. The other effect it has is you can target, you can detach 1 material, and you can target a monster on the field and change it to the face-down defense position. People hardly use that effect. People like to shuffle the card, and I'd also prefer that effect too. And I run one Gaga Cowboy, rank 4. If you special summon in defense mode and you detach one of its material, you can burn your opponent for 800. And if you special summon in attack mode, this card attacks an opponent's monster this turn, it gains 1000 attack, and the opponent's monster loses 500 attack during the damage step only. So it's a really convenient card to have. And the last Exceed I have run is one Pilgrim Reaper. He's a rank 6. And for as many dark monsters you and your opponent have in the graveyard, he gains 200 attack. You can detach 1 material, so you can send 5 cards. I think it makes you and your opponent send 5 cards from your deck to the graveyard. So it just gets you more mills. But yeah, that's the extra deck. I appreciate everyone who took a second to watch this video. If y'all liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and comment in the comment section below. Thank you. I'll see you on the next video.